Hello, welcome to game 3 of my match against Jean-Michel. This is a Groom Inventor board. So we've got Stampede, we've got Battlefield, we've got Pasture stuff. I kind of want to get into the Shepherds and the Grooms fairly quickly. If you can get Grooms to gain a bunch of estates, then you can play with Shepherds and discard and get a ton of draw. I wonder though if Sculptor is good for that deck. Like opening Guardian, then I can buy Sculptor. It feels really terrible. I think the deck can support one silver. I'm going to go Silver Shepherd here. The plan is to get a bunch of Grooms after that and gain all the estates, but I want to make sure I hit some early price points. Sculptor will be quite nice. Lab's always nice. I don't think there'll be time to get to Prince because the estate pile will be empty. So they open Silver Inventor. I don't like the Inventor here as much because you can only... Gosh, I guess they're going for City Court Inventor stuff. It seems really slow. I guess if you draw Inventor with 4 money, the deck takes off. The game 1 of this match, I kept drawing Inventor with 3 money, and it's like I can't even afford the 5 cost. I'm going to full discard here because I want to find that Groom. I did not. So I've got a Groom down there. I've got a couple of estates. A Groom, 3 estates down there, actually. So with the Groom and 3 estates down there, I can either have a clean shuffle or Stampede. And yeah, I can't gain and play the another Groom, unfortunately. That's fine. Okay, so down to my bottom, I found all of my estates here, which I knew I guess I was going to do. Okay, what do I want to gain this turn? I want to gain another Groom and another Groom and another Sculptor. Another Groom and another Shepherd, I think. So the plan will be to Groom for estates, and then the last Groom of the turn I Groom for either a Groom or a Shepherd, and then maybe buy a City Quarter. This draw, though, is not great. This shuffle I triggered here, yeah, there were 5 treasures and 3 greens in there. So it was not a great shuffle, but bottom decking all of the greens was bad because then the causing me to Stampede, and then I bottom decked all the things. Okay, moving on. The Sculptor would be nice. The problem is I can't play Sculptor and Groom in the same turn. Similarly, you can't play Sculptor and Adventurer in the same turn unless you sculpt for silvers, which feels bad because I don't really want silvers in the deck other than the first one that you get. City Quarter might just end up being expensive. Necropolis. We'll see. Brutal. So I guess I'm just going to get a sit with the City Quarter now. I do have another Shepherd and all my green cards down there. The alternative would be another Stampede. I feel better about the Stampede if I can get a Sculptor in play and do more gain and play tricks. But I desperately need to draw, and my deck is not cooperating. Maybe I should just assume the deck will cooperate. I'm not quite sure. Okay, so this is quite good. I'm always going to Groom for 1 estate here. The rest of my deck is... So I want to Groom for an estate, and then... Well, I have no way to Groom for an estate and gain a Shepherd into the deck, so I do need to get like an Inventor. I do need to get my I do need to get the city quarter this turn. Or I top deck something. Okay, so I do need to get a city quarter this turn. Looks like another shepherd. And the city quarter, I also desperately want a sculptor. Maybe I gain an inventor and a city quarter. I found the city, no greens, but I found the city quarter with shepherds, so that's nice. I feel like these decks should not reliably take off quite yet. The hope is that I can groom a shepherd and then discard the shepherd to trigger shuffle that has a shepherd and green on top. That's the plan, at least. Oh, brutal. Brutal, brutal, brutal. And I have like no shepherd. I have one shepherd down there. This is really bad. Okay, so I can gain another groom here, and sculptor. I'll gain another shepherd. I think 3 shepherds is probably enough. And the grooms are going to be bad soon because the inventors are running. But I'm going to gain another shepherd and a sculptor. No, the terminal stuff is important, so I think I'm going to gain another city quarter. Plus, given the high chance that this next turn is a dud. They also do their shepherd without greens. Brutal. Yeah, so just my deck has not been cooperating in the ordering. If I drew any of my green last turn, I had a decent chance of kicking off and having a big turn because I would have drawn more green. And hopefully I find a shepherd in these top 2 cards. They have a huge lead in the battlefield split. They have a huge lead in the estate split. Oh, man. I didn't even have another shepherd, I guess. I don't know. I'm blaming this one on the deck order. I'm not quite sure. I don't think my play was perfect, but the shuffles I could have had things go well went terribly every time. And now they've got a 16-point lead. All right. So they're just going to pile out soon with the 16-point lead. I have 2 villages, but the grooms are bad now. So I need another shepherd. Pay my debt. Again, they should have some turns that are... They've had a bunch of good turns in a row. At least turns where they do things in a row. Sculptor helps with that. Yeah, hitting that 5 on turn 3 was pretty key. But I'm going to be able to draw a deck here. I just need a whole bunch of provinces to come back from this deficit. Okay, draw 3. And I don't have enough shepherds in my deck, unfortunately. I should have another shepherd down there, though. The question is, do I want to groom for something? So I can invent for a groom. I can groom for a duchy. And then I can keep cycling. Where are all my green cards? Okay, so I can groom for a duchy, shepherd discard 2, and just buy a province here. It's a decent turn. So the grooms, once you've played an inventor, you can groom for duchies, which is nice. Problem is I added a lot of green to my deck, so if I can't find a bunch of green cards with shepherds, I'm not going to be able to kick off. Okay, I did not do that here. I guess I'm going to groom for another inventor. I can also stampede. That seems actually the best. I've got shepherds, city quarters, and stuff down there. I don't think they're going to be able to pile out. So the Stampede basically means I can get a big turn next turn as opposed to one duchy, and one duchy doesn't seem like it's worth it. The problem with the Shepherds is if you're not ever discarding more than 3, it's really hard to get a big hand going. I was able to discard on this big turn. Yeah, I was only really discarding 2, but I had grooms for extra draw. Grooms gaining duchies and so on. So I have an inventor and a couple of grooms down there. I should be able to find both of those. So in theory, I can gain 4 duchies pretty easily. I have 3 grooms. 2, 3 grooms. I can gain 3 duchies pretty easily and buy a 4th after inventing something. So they sort of need to play around that. And I'm at the point of the game now where I feel like I'm behind enough that I'll just gain 4 duchies and like buy a province and feel, or gain 3 duchies, buy a province and feel okay with that. I'm trying to think if I have any other outs. Like I have 1 inventor, 3 grooms, so an inventor is never going to be able to gain a duchy. The first one, I could groom for an inventor and then play 2 inventors. The problem with that is I only have the 2 city quarters, so I'm a little bit village limited. They've also added a lot of silvers to their deck, which helped them hit the early price points, but I should play one of these city quarters. I think I'll probably just play the other. It's not super clear to me the order here. I think discarding 6 is fine. I might be able to save some of these horses. Okay, so now I can discard 3. See where that goes. Okay, so I've got 6 cards down there. So I can gain and play a groom here. That's 4 groom plays. I should be able to buy 4 duchies now. Should be able to buy a duchy and gain another duchy. Okay, so I definitely came together there at the end. They had an early lead and had some collisions. I think they had too much. They had the silvers and they had the mixture of pastures and city quarters, which didn't work great. The Stampede ended up getting me over, although I don't feel super confident about how I played that.